And we are live. Are we live yet? And we are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? If you guys are watching this for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole, and I own DeanCole Financial. We're a consulting firm. We specialize in working capital, alternative finance, and business credit development. That's who I am, and that's what I do. And this is a live Q&A where I am answering your questions live about basically financial news that you can use. A lot of you guys haven't seen me because I'm looking rough. Yes, I'm looking rough. I'm looking very, very much so quarantined. Hey, we got we got Dewan is in the building. What's going on, Dewan? How are you doing today? Peace and love. Family, how are you doing? Hit that like button, hit that share button. We got Trucking for Show was the first person to comment. Hey, Trucking for Show, how are you doing? Peace King, how are you doing? We got King Simon is in the building. Hey, King Simon. We got Enroll TV. I think that's what this is. Yes, long time. Look, I'm looking all rough. I had a very, very good day today, very busy day today. As you guys can see, I'm still here in the Dominican Republic in this quarantine. And no haircut. A lot of you guys wonder, like, a lot of my older videos, I have hair. I still have hair, but it's like my hair is like it's thick and then it's thinning at the top. You know what I'm saying? So I just go ahead and cut it all off bald. I don't know. I don't know if they say I could possibly kind of grow my edges back. I don't know. I just, like, it's quarantine. So I said, you know what, forget it. I'm about to enjoy this cigar and catch up with you guys and answer your questions. And I'm doing it the old school way too. I don't have my, I'm not using my fancy, my computer. I'm using the old school phone. I just decided to hit the button and go live. I had a very interesting conversation, not interesting, I had a phenomenal, great conversation today with a TV producer. And we're working on some things to happen as soon as next month. And one of the things that they encouraged me to do was I got to start back doing my basic content. And I said, instead of putting all the hoopla into it, let me just do it raw and live. Go it that way. All right, so I'm gonna answer you guys' questions. We're gonna talk about it. Let's see, let everybody hit that like button, hit that share button. And let's get 100 people live. Once we get 100 people watching us live, and I know it's been a minute, and it's towards the end of the day, so we should be able to get 100 people watching live. So right now we have a total of 40 people. All 40 of you guys hit that thumbs up button. We only have 7 thumbs up. Come on now, 7 likes. Y'all ain't gonna do me like this. The devil is a lie. Come on now. I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button, to hit that share button. So the more people that hit the like button, hit the share button, the more YouTube knows that you value this, and they're gonna add more people to it. The last few times I went live, I was live doing Forex, and I think YouTube doesn't like to push Forex information, Forex things. So we had very few people watching live, but this is with me. So I'm live, enjoying a cigar and a macchiato. You dig? And I'm just gonna answer some of your questions. Come on, we only have 17. We have 40 people watching live and only 17 thumbs up. Wow. Increíble. Come on, all of y'all hit that like button. And I can go ahead and get into this live Q&A and start answering your questions. So for you guys that are watching for the first time, let's do a temperature check too. So if you're watching for the first time, if it's your first time catching me live, then like I said, we hit 32,000 subscribers. So we hit 32K. I want to know who's been with me since I had two subscribers. Who's been with me since I had 2 subscribers? But we hit 32,000 subscribers, guys. So that is huge. And so we hit 32,000 subscribers, which is phenomenal. And so one of the things that blew my mind is that compared to other financial experts, hey, Precious, what my baby say? What my baby say? My baby say, I look. I look so weird with my beard, And did I get the mask? Yes, Precious, I did. I got a notification that they did come in. So I have to go pick it up. I have to go pick them up, baby. So I'm gonna go pick them up. My precious is, I love it when my baby messages me. But yeah, so I'm gonna go pick them up, pick up my mask. My baby made me some custom masks. And so she was talking about how weird I look with my bushy beard and my head of hair. But nevertheless, so we hit 32,000 subscribers, right? And what's so amazing is that I didn't know this until this TV producer brought it to my attention, is that for the average financial expert, I have 12,000 more, 10 to 12,000 more subscribers than the average financial expert. And I'm like, wow, I did not know that. Like, so some of the big time guys that I grew up on, like Clark Howard. But Clark Howard is somebody that's very close to being local. So he was very local in Atlanta, Georgia. As a matter of fact, if you've ever heard of Clark Howard, let me know if you've heard of him before. So let me hear you say have heard. If you've never heard of him before, I want you to say never have. Because like I said, Clark Howard is somebody that's very local. And it might just be an Atlanta thing, but there we go. This is for the mosquitoes. Never have. Okay, most of you guys have never heard of him before, so maybe it's just a local thing. Yeah, maybe it's just a local thing. So, but now for some of the other ones, so for some of the other, I'm a little like 20,000 subscribers below some of the national experts, But as far as like local experts like Clark Howard and different things like that, local to the Atlanta area, blowing them out the water, which I'm excited about because of the numbers, because of the conversation that I had. Very soon, you guys will be seeing me on national television. Very, very soon, which I'm really excited about that. All right, you have on CNN? Yes, so Clark Howard has been featured on CNN several times. So they were comparing me to Clark and a couple of other ones that are on CNN and whatnot. So, yep, Clark is a big dog, absolutely. Trucking for sure. Clark, I thought Clark was a big dog, but surprisingly, as it's kept, DeAnCole name ring bigger than Clark Howard, which I'm surprised and shocked at, but I was like, wow, really? So I had a great conversation. A great conversation. So don't be surprised when this COVID-19 stop ends. You're gonna look and see me on your national television show very soon. Yeah, Clark is syndicated? Okay, he is syndicated. Okay, that's what's up. He is syndicated. I wasn't 100% sure because I just know of him, I know of him for how great he is. Hold on. Make sure that I still got my charger on. Hold on. More haircut. All right. Hopefully my phone don't die. It should not die. But yeah, so I want to get into this. So, really excited about that. Very, very excited about that. I'm really super excited about that. So, I am really looking forward to I'm looking forward to some real big things in 2020 toward the later part of 2020. So, I'm really, really excited about that. So, we're working on some stuff. We have 54 people watching live and only 28 thumbs up. Come on, y'all hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit that share button to let people know that you value this information so I can go ahead and start answering some of you guys' questions. While we're waiting for you guys to hit that like button and the share button, let me do a temperature check. If you're watching for the first time Like I said, we hit 32,000 subscribers. So if you're watching for the first time, I want you to say first time. If you're watching for the first time, I want you to say first time. If you are a client of mine, meaning that you have enrolled into any coaching or you've hired me for any one-on-one coaching or consulting, I want you to say client. If you are not a client of mine and you're not watching for the first time, I want you to say family. All right, we got Big E, the boss, says client. Hey, Big E, how are you doing today, my man? All right, AT Alien Trucker says client. Alizina says client. Shakia says family. 887 says family. All right, Panda Express says family. Curtis says family. Okay, first time. Hello from Los Angeles. That is Victor. Was that Victor Van Zant is watching for the first time. Hey, Victor, how are you doing? All right. We got Rosalind says that they're family. Family. We got a lot of people that's family. Okay, that's good stuff. From Jamaica, family. Wagwan, Jamaica. Everything Christian proper youth. Everything Irie. Everything Christian proper. Okay. So we have a lot of family in here, clients and family, not that many first time. Not that many people watching for the first time, so that's good stuff. So I'm excited about that. So let's talk. What questions do you guys have for me? So if you guys have questions, we have my life, my LYFE as a client. So what questions do you guys have for me about finances? Any particular financial questions? I'm going to start back doing my call-in shows where I'll be able to take your phone calls live, answering your questions. A lot of our Instagram content is going to change up today. I'm really excited. Like the month of May, we're going to do a lot of changing to get some things together. So the best thing to do is if you have a question to super chat it, because it allows it to show the easiest so that I don't lose you in the sea of comments. All right, we have 70 people watching live right now and only 40 thumbs up. Everybody else hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. All right, so let's see. I think the first question I say was George. Who is this? George says, man, we appreciate all the info that you give. I watched how to get a perfect credit score in 2020 and how to start a business and get my funding podcast with Brother Ben X. Absolutely, that's good stuff, George. I'm glad that you were able to watch, Brother George. That's good stuff. Somebody asked how I've been. I've been great, guys. I'm feeling good. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. As you see, the sun is shining. The weather is beautiful. The weather is grateful. Makes me want to move my dancing feet to the rescue. Here I am. I don't know where the song came from because I got a yardie that's watching. I want you to know, y'all, where I stand. I think that's how it goes. As you can see, the sun is shining here in the Dominican Republic. It is absolutely beautiful. It's hot. You guys might hear helicopters fly by because the way that they keep people off the beautiful beach after our curfew, because right now it's our curfew time. Our curfew starts at 5 o'clock. So the way they keep people off the beach during the curfew is they fly the helicopter down on them. It's funny. If you go to my Facebook, you'll see I have a video of a helicopter flying down on the beach trying to get people to leave. It's very, very funny. So I've been great. You know, I've been quarantining. I got my bushy beard, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. See if I want to try to regrow my hair. You know what I'm saying? It's there, but it's just thinning. You know, I ain't a young whippersnapper trying to figure out because most of the time, like I just like the clean cut and I go bald. I'm trying to figure out if I should put some castor oil on it and what they say, the edge stuff and thicken it out, the minoxidil. I don't know. I used to put Beijing in it, but I don't do that no more. I'm a grown man, you know. I'm a grown man, you know. Do grown man things, you know. Big man things. All right, let's see what questions you guys have. Let's see. Let's see, what questions do you have? All right, let's see. All right, so New York Life says, I need to open a bakery. Let me see, wait, what does it say? He said, I need to open a bakery with no money. Well, then you ain't gonna be able to do nothing with no money. So the very first thing is you're gonna need to get some money, buddy. If you wanna open a bakery with no money and no tax returns, are you still able to do so? So there's nothing, you're gonna have to pay somebody. If you, let me ask you this question. If you don't have any money, how you gonna pay your rent? If you don't have any money, how you gonna pay rent? If you don't have any money, how are you going to get the supplies to bake your cakes? Come on now. You're gonna need some money. It takes money to make money. I want everyone to say, it takes money to make money, okay? There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. It takes money to make money. And I know where you're going with it. You wanna know, can you get startup funding? Can you get startup capital? Yes, but guess what? It takes money to make money. Whether you hire us to do it or you do it yourself, it takes money to make money. I want everyone to say, it takes money to make money. This idea, this mindset of this set it and forget it, somebody's gonna save me, somebody's gonna give me this reparations that they're not gonna give you, that somebody's gonna give you this grant, is not gonna happen. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategic, specific plan, something that's realistic, that's gonna help you get out. Daydreaming ain't gonna do it. Yes, you wanna make sure that you think positively, but at the same time, you wanna make sure that you have productive thinking. Just don't be positive, but you have to be productive as well. So it takes money to make money. Whether you hire a consultant or whether you do it yourself, it's gonna cost you money to incorporate your business. You see what I'm saying? So it takes money to make money. So I understand where you're coming from. So maybe the question is, can you get startup funding or startup capital to start and grow your business? Yes, you can. You can definitely do that, but nobody's gonna walk up to you and say, hey, I understand that you make a mean everything bagel. Let me go ahead and put you in your business. We don't think like that around here. All right, so somebody asked a question, says, so Raymond says, do I have a tax person? I'm in my first 6 months with trucking and I am lost. I need help with after tax too, okay? So where are you right? So you don't have a tax person. What state are you in? I have a tax person. Message me on Instagram and say, hey, I asked you about a tax person and I'll give you a tax person. I got a good tax person. I'll give you the tax person that I use. Dean, am I married or have a girlfriend? No, Lydia, I am single as a $100 bill. I have a relationship with a beautiful little girl who is watching right now, who is my daughter, who is the air that I breathe. She is my precious. That's the only lady that's in my life, my daughter. And then after that is my business, in that order. But no, I am single as a $100 bill. Single and ready to mingle. You say, yay, well, Lydia? Oh, my precious says, oh, that's right, my baby, I love her. That's the only lady that's in my life, my daughter. My precious, that's my baby, that's it. That's it. But I'm very picky, Lydia. I'm very picky now. Don't say yay too quick. You know, you got like you got about 20 criteria you have to meet. I'm just being honest. And I feel like I'm at a place in my life right now to where I'm very, very honest. There's this young lady, I was in this Facebook group, and she introduced herself. It's a Facebook group of singles, and she's sexy. She got a nice little shape, you know what I'm saying? She looked like she do her waist trainer, you know, waist shaper or whatever. And she was like very scantily clad. You dig what I'm saying? She was very like loose. She looked like she was one of them loose women. That's what my grandma would call them. My grandma called them loose women. So she looked like she one of them loose women. And then I said, I wonder when beautiful women can introduce themselves without being so sexual. And then I said, you know what? Never mind. let me stop. And then it actually got a lot of responses from other ladies, and they was like, yeah. And I was telling, and so she was like, well, I just like skin. And I told her, I said, well, you know what? You like skin, you like showing your skin more than you like being in a relationship, because you showing off so much is what's keeping good men away from you. I said, let me guess, the only type of men you attract are thugs, dudes that got 17 baby mamas, or married men. And she was like, whatever, because married men are, we're not going to, because a good guy, somebody with substance that wants a future, ain't gonna take you serious. We see you coming from a mile away. No me gusta. No más, no more. So, that was a very fun conversation I had. But yeah, so but Lydia, don't be, I'm glad that you think that I'm a good catch and all, which is awesome. But you gotta, hey, I have a long list that I'm not gonna compromise off of. Because I feel like I am a good guy. I know that I'm a good guy, so I'm not gonna compromise off of my list. And I just focus on my two loves, my daughter and my business, the two. And I focus on that, and everything else will follow. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. So one thing I learned in this life is you can miss out on a lot of money chasing women. But if you chasing money, you ain't never gonna miss out on a woman. So all of my fellas out there that's trying to get something. Now fellas, if y'all are married and you got a good woman, hold on to her tight, because it is not sweet in these streets. You hear me? It is not sweet in these streets. So many women do not know how to keep a man. So many women don't know what it means to be wives. Just like so many men don't know how to keep women. And so many men don't know how to be husbands, because they grow up in single family households, so they never saw their mother be a wife. They never saw their father be a husband, so they're guessing at it. It ain't easy. Especially nowadays, and it ain't easy. It ain't easy. So a lot of these women don't know how to keep a man. They don't know how to talk to men. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard. A lot of women, not all women, not all, but a lot of them, listen, I'm telling you, the grass is not greener. If you have a good woman and you're committed and y'all have a relationship and y'all have hard times, you're not going to find the answer in the bed of another woman. You're going to find the answer in your bed with your wife, talking to your wife. Listen to me. There's a lot of things that I do regret in life. And there's a lot of things I regret, and I just leave it at that. But one thing I will tell you is, if you got a good woman, keep her. Because it ain't sweet in these streets. It ain't sweet in these streets at all. So let's see. Let's do a temperature check. All right, we have. So the person that gave me that super chat, like I said, make sure you message me. Make sure that you message me on Instagram and say, hey, I asked you about the tax person, and I'll connect you with my tax person. All right, so somebody gave us $2 super chat, but there was no question. It's not sweet in these streets. Nope, it's not sweet in these streets at all. Somebody gave a super chat for $2, but they did not have a question with it. Let's see if I missed some of these comments. All right, so Cleveland says that you cannot access the Facebook group and you are a client. So Cleveland, make sure that you cancel your requests and then request again. All right, so that'll bring you to the top of the list. Because so many people see the Facebook group and they just think that it's just a normal, regular Facebook group, and they don't understand that it's an exclusive group. So so Cleveland, make sure you cancel your requests and fill out your request again. And in the comments, say that this is Cleveland, and I'll make sure that you're added, that you're at the top of the list. All right, let's see. Okay, so Big E the Boss says, with 5K startup capital, what's the best business to move to make financially? And my business niche suggestions. Also, I need the tax plug. Okay, well, message me, Big E, and I'll give you the tax plug. Same thing, message me privately, and I'll give you the tax plug. If you have $5,000, I suggest that you buy a house. If you want to be financially stable, $5,000, purchase a home. So Big E, do you currently own a home right now? Do you currently own a home right now, Big E? Let me know. Talk to me now. Don't just have me. Now that I'm looking for you. No, you don't. Okay, awesome. So the best thing I suggest that you do, Big E, is purchase a home. Let's talk about that, all right? So what state are you in, Big E? Talk to me quickly, my man. Come on, Big E. Talk to me. What state are you in? Big E, okay, so let's just say the average price of a house, the average price of a good home, whether you want to use it for an investment property or you want to use it for your own primary home, is, you're in North Carolina? Oh, heck yeah. So Big E, you can get a house for $125,000. So let me check, so this is how it works, right? So what happened on $150,000, so the way that it works is that you can get an FHA mortgage, okay? So everybody, if you're with me, I want everyone to say FHA. FHA stands for the Federal Housing Administration, okay? So FHA is the Federal Housing Administration. So FHA, thanks. So first person to participate was Shaq B. Shaq B says FHA, thanks so much for that, Shaq B. Dwayne Boyd said FHA, thanks so much for that, Dwayne. All right, so a FHA loan stands for the Federal Housing Administration. When you purchase an FHA home, they allow you to put down only 3.5%. So watch this. So if you're getting a $100,000 home, 3.5% of $100,000 is $3,500. So if you have $5,000 of capital sitting around, that's great. My suggestion to you would be to purchase a home. You want to look at anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000. $150,000 will be a very comfortable home. You can get a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom house in North Carolina for that. If you want to get an investment property, you can find an even better 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom for $99,000. If you are looking as an investment property, don't spend no more than $100,000. If you're looking for yourself, spend up to $150,000. So let's do the math. What is 3.5 of $150,000? So 3.5 of $100,000 is $3,500. $3,500. All right. So what is 1.5 of $150,000? So that's 15 plus 15 plus 15 is what? What's that? Plus 0.5? Well, 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus half of 15, which is 750, which would be $6,250. That's right. So it's $6,250. So that means that if you already have $5,000, all you have to do is save up another $1,250. That's it. And I know that you can do that within 3 months, and you'll be ready to go. So let's talk about it both ways. So one way, if you're looking at it as an investment property, let me tell you why that's a good thing. So if you have a mortgage for $100,000, you take that $5,000, you purchase that home. 9 times out of 10, with taxes and insurance, your mortgage is going to be around $500. So with your taxes and insurance being around $500, you will easily be able to rent that out for $750. So let's do the math. If you have a mortgage of taxes and insurance for $100,000 and your mortgage is $500, but you rent it out for $750, which is on the low end, because we're talking about not the best side of town, all right? Because you want to get something that's $100,000 and not the best side of town because they rent out so easily, okay? So that means that you're going to have $750, which is the rental rate. You want to have something that's nice that people can easily rent out. And let's say how much is a profit from 500? There you go. That man is on it. Shaq B is on that thing. $250 profit. $250 profit. You see that? Shaq B is on it. So Shaq B, let's go another step. I want everyone to say 250. All right, I want everyone to say $250. I want everyone to say $250. 250. Thank you so much for participating, Precious. 250. Zoe Cole says 250. Thank you so much for participating. Well, no, I'm not talking about, yeah, you can rent it out for $1,000, but that ain't what we talking. We talking about how to do it quickly. We talking about how to put it on the market one day, have it rented one day. We talking about that. Just basic. Just basic real quick. Just a basic real quick. All right, basic real quick. All right, so $250. So take that $250 and multiply $250 times 12. So 250 times 12 is what? So $250 times 12 is what? What do you get? What do you get? You get $3,000. So watch this. $3,000, that's right, $3,000. $3,000. Now watch this. The same thing you did to get the $5,000, you continue to do. That $3,000 is extra. So now you take $3,000 plus the $5,000. How much do you have left over? How much do you have after that? $3,000 plus the $5,000 that you did that you saved up, plus the $3,000. How much do you have after that? $8,000. And guess what I'm gonna tell you to do with the $8,000? Guess. Let's see who can win the prize. Guess what the best thing to do after you do that? That's right, same thing. Another house, absolutely. Big E the Boss, absolutely. That's how you do it. If you're looking at it from a investment property. So that was how we looking at it from an investment property. All right, so Big E the Boss. Now let's look at it another way. How much are you paying in rent right now? So how much are you paying in rent right now, Big E the Boss? So talk to me, Big E. How much are you paying in rent right now? So the first scenario I gave was for an investment property. Okay, you're paying $1,300 a month right now in rent. And you're in North Carolina, so you gotta have a really, really nice home. You probably got a 5-bedroom house sitting on a basement, a full finished basement. So let's say, for instance, if you purchased a home, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and you purchased this home, $150,000, your mortgage is going to be around, including your taxes and your insurance, your mortgage is going to be probably around $800. Let's just say, no, $800, yeah, extra $300. $800, your mortgage is going to be around $800. So if you're spending $1,300 right now for rent, and now you're making a mortgage payments of $800, your monthly expenses drops by how much? Let's do the math. So $1,300 minus 8 is what? $500. That's right, Big E the Boss, $500. That's right. So now you're saving an additional $500 and you're building wealth, because every time you make a mortgage payment, your new asset, it goes down. So that $500 that you're saving every month, let's do the math. 500 times 12 is what? So even if you just do it as a primary residence, just a primary residence, even if you do it just as a primary residence, what is that? That's $6,000 that you save every single year just by owning it, not including the fact that you're making payments into your mortgage into a value of $150,000. So that's my advice to you, Big E the Boss. Did you guys like that? If you liked it, I want you to say liked it. If you disagree with what I say, Dean, I want you to say, Dean, you lying. Even if you're watching on the replay, I want you to participate with me as if you're watching me live, and I want you to make a mind muscle connection with this content. All right, what other questions you guys got for me? Boss moves, absolutely. Boss talk, absolutely. And that's basically as simple as it is. And my beautiful daughter, she's coming along with the math just like y'all, because it's simple, it's basic. Even though my daughter is a genius, and I'm so grateful that she's such a genius, but you guys could do it too. It's just that simple. It's just that's basic. How do you make a website? That's a very good question, Precious. So if the way that you make a website is the step number one, so the way that you make a website is step number one, you have to choose the name of the website that you want, okay? So the first thing is you have to choose something that's called a domain name. So step number one is a domain name. So I want everyone to say domain name. So like for instance, my domain names, I have multiple domain names. Like for instance, my daughter, Zoe, makes these custom masks. So let's say if Zoe wanted to sell her mask, it would be zoesmask.com or something like that. So you want to make sure that you choose a .com on your domain name, because .com is having the best presence. Even though you can choose a .net or a .biz or a .usa. So let's say, for instance, my daughter Zoe, if she goes to try to get a mask, to sell zoesmask.com is not available. Let's say zoesmask.net is available or zoesmask.biz is available. Change it. Don't do it. Figure out a domain that ends in a .com, because two things. One, when you have a website that ends in a .com, then Google will push your domain further than any other domain. .com is going to give you a better presence than a .net or a .biz. So let's say if zoesmask.com isn't available, then you can say buy from zoe.com, and that might be available. So you want to be creative. So the first thing you have to do is get a domain name. And the best place to go that I like to go is GoDaddy.com. If you go to GoDaddy.com, you can search for free your domain name, and the domain names are going to cost anywhere from $13. They're going to cost anywhere from $7 to $13 for the entire year. That's it. You pay per year for your domain name. So it's anywhere from $7 to $13 per year. So once you choose your domain name, now I have a coupon code that will give you your domain for 99 cents for the first year. All right? So you have to get a domain name, and your domain name is what the name of your website will be. Once you get a domain name, then you have two options. You can either go through one option. I want everyone to say two options, all right? I want everyone to say, so if you guys are with me, I want you to say two options. So these are the five steps on how to build a website, okay? These are the 5 steps on how to build a website. So the very first step is to get your domain name. All right, so Dwayne says 2 options. All right, Black, what's that? Black Shots Boxing says 2 options. DC says 2 options. Thank you so much for that. Come on, Precious, I want you to say 2 options. I want you to, since you asked this question, this is a very good question, I want you to participate with me too, baby. I'm looking for your response. Cohen says 2 options. There you go. Thank you, baby. 2 options. There you go. My baby said 2 options. So you have 2 options. You have the first option is to go through WordPress to where you can build your site custom through WordPress, or you can download a template. So the first option is WordPress, or the second option is Shopify, okay? So the first option is WordPress, and the second option is Shopify. Okay? So you choose if you want to go through WordPress, which is what I suggest, because when you do WordPress, you have more control over everything. Or the second option is go through Shopify. The reason why a lot of people go through Shopify when they're selling products online is because it's easy and it automatically comes with a payment gateway. But so, either way it goes, if you go through Shopify, Shopify is more expensive. All right, so Shopify costs more money than having a WordPress site. All right, so a WordPress site is less expensive. A Shopify site, sorry about that, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Somebody just called. Can you guys see me okay? Can you hear me okay? If you can hear me, I want you to say hear you. Because somebody just called and I don't know how the connection went. Okay, we hear you? Okay, thanks so much for that, Shaq. Shaq B is on it. Shaq B, the next time I'm live, if you are this attentive, I'm gonna make you a moderator because you are on top of it, boss. All right, so you have two options. So the first option is through WordPress, and the second option is through Shopify. If you go through Shopify, you pay monthly. It's more expensive, but it automatically allows you to accept payments. So Zoe, because you're under the age of 18, you would need to get help from either me or your mother to create your payment gateway, and I'll create it for you, baby. You know I have no problem with it. I want to see you successful. I'm so impressed by you, and I'm so proud of you for being so entrepreneurial at such a young age. So of course I'll help you, no problem. But if you want your mother to do it, you know, she can help you. But if not, I'll set up the account for you and everything. All right, no problem. But that's the other thing. You have to be above the age of 18 when you go through Shopify. When you go through WordPress, there is no age requirement. So Shopify, they have these ready-made templates and ready-made websites that look really cool, but with WordPress, you can do the same thing. So if you go through WordPress, you're able to still customize your website, but then you have to choose a payment gateway. And you can choose PayPal, you can choose Stripe, you can choose Square. Those are the top 3 providers that you can choose. And so if you go through WordPress, you have to get something that's called hosting. All right, so step 3 is you have to get hosting. I want everyone to say hosting. Now, when you're a client of mine and you're enrolled into the startup coaching, your first year is free. We cover it for you. But then after that, you have to pay for your hosting for the year. All right, hosting. Now, when you pay for hosting, you can get hosting for $75 a year. Because remember, it costs money to make money. Like, remember we talked to the baker? We told the baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. It takes money to make money. So it only normally takes $75 for the year to pay for the hosting for that site. But once you pay for the hosting, then you're able to add analytics to the site. You can track your analytics. You can track your link. There's so many things, so much more you can do with a WordPress site than you can with a Shopify site. But those are the options. Those are the 2 options, okay? So now there's a very detailed explanation. As a matter of fact, if you're enrolled into the startup coaching, we walk you step by step through the entire process from step 1 to the 10th step of creating your website, step by step on how to do so. But I hope that answered your question, Precious. So, all right, there's another super chat. So, okay, so Big E says, I want to help some family get homes, but they have no work history, and some have records, etc., and arrears, etc., how can that buy homes? Well, if a person doesn't have a work history, they're not going to be able to buy a house because they need to have at least 2 years of history. The person needs to get a job and stay faithful on that job for 2 years. Once they get that job and they stay faithful on that job for 24 months, then they could qualify for a mortgage. It doesn't matter if you were a felon. It doesn't matter if you have a bad record. You can still own real estate. It does not matter. The thing that matters the most is for them to become financially stable, because what's the purpose and point of somebody getting a house and they can't keep the house, right? The #1 best-selling book of all time says that, behold, I give unto you blessings and cursings. If you give a blessing to somebody too soon, that blessing becomes a curse. Watch this. If my daughter, you know my daughter is the air that I breathe, and let's say my baby wants to drive my Benz. She wants to drive my S600. She wants to drive my S600. The average person be like, yo, daddy gonna give you an S600 Benz? That's such a blessing, right? But if she does not know how to drive a car, and if she doesn't have the gas money to put in the car, is that now a blessing or is it a burden? I want you guys to answer. Is it a blessing or is it a burden? Answer the question. Is it a blessing or is it a burden? Is it a blessing or is it a burden? It's a burden, it's a liability. Big E says a liability. Shaq says it's a burden. Big E says it's a burden. Davitta says it's a burden. She won't be able to use it. She won't be able to enjoy it. That's right, it's a burden. All right, it's a burden. But now, let's fast forward to now my precious is going to college. Her college is paid for. She owns a condo because her daddy got her a condo. She owns it free and clear. She wants to go to whatever college she wants to go to. And she said, well, daddy, you know, I want I want the SL 600, the convertible, if that's what she wants. That's if she wants. And then I give it to her. And now she has the means. She has the knowledge and the mindset to drive the car. And she also has the means to put fuel in the car. Now that is a blessing, right? So that being said, Jehovah God is the exact same way. We have to, and us as people, that we are gods, we are creators. So Big E, I know you want to bless your family member and you want to bless the person, but if they don't have the mindset to take care of that home, and if they don't have the resources to take care of that home, then you're just giving them a burden. You're not giving them a blessing. So the first thing that person needs to do is they need to get a job and stay on that job for 24 months. And guess what? You can get a house for $50,000. It doesn't have to be $150,000. It can be $50,000 based on their income. It doesn't matter where they work. Based on their income, you can get a nice house, $50,000, $75,000. They don't need a 5-bedroom house. They get a 2-bedroom house. Something that they can afford, that's theirs based on their income, and in 24 months they can qualify. So they need to have 24 months of on-time payments, okay? Excuse me, not on-time payments, 24 months of work history. And they want to be, and by them creating that 24 months of work history, now they're going to be stable and they're going to have the ability to be able to sustain that house, all right? They're going to have the ability to sustain that house, all right? Now, somebody asked, is Instagram a good alternative to a website? I think that you should do both. You need to use Instagram as a marketing tool, but I think that you should have people to go through your website so you can take pictures of your mask and pictures of your products and pictures of your services, but in order for you to accept payment from people, they should go through your website, and it makes it more professional. So I think that Instagram is a good way to start out, but eventually you do want to get to the point where you do have a website. And Instagram is a tool that you use along with your website. All right, so Cleveland says, I'm in New York City with lots of rural land. My goal is to purchase the land to create trailer park communities with commercial space as well. I also want to purchase this land and put modular homes for lease options. That's a very good goal, very good plan. My suggestion to you is make sure that the land that you get, that the tractors and the trailers can easily go down the road. Because if you're getting land and it's not a 4-lane highway, and if it's a 2-lane highway, it's going to be kind of difficult for you to be able to get tractors to go down that road. If it's also, you want to make sure that the land is easily accessible by the highway. Because if you have land that's not easily accessible by the highway, then one, ain't nobody gonna know about it, and also two, it's gonna become a headache for the truckers to get there. If you wanted to be a park, if you said you wanted to be a truck park, hold on, you said you wanted to be, I want to purchase the land to create a trailer park. Okay, a trailer park community. Excuse me, trailer park community with commercial space as well. Okay, so if you're doing trailer park community, okay, trailer park community, you can do marketing and advertisement for that. So forgive me, scratch that last part out. I gave you. Okay, so yeah, if you want to do that, that's a great idea. That's a very good idea. And as long as the land is big enough, you can easily do so. And if you need help and a more step-by-step guide on how to do so, then hire us or go through our online course, and we'll be more than happy to help you make that come to pass. But that's more of a statement than a question. So that's a very good goal to have, though. That's a very smart and wise goal. All right, so Cameron says, me and my sister started a certified cleaning company. We just got a cleaning company, $15,000 yesterday. Working capital loan, $15,000. Me and my sister just started a certified cleaning company. What is the best option for funding for our company without any income coming in from our company? We both have great credit, if that helps. Yeah, so the very first thing you need to do is do not make the mistake of putting your money into your personal account, okay? So who is this? So Cameron Smith, make sure that you you need to go and get Cameron and my sister's business account, okay? You have to use a business checking account. Do not, I repeat, do not be lazy. Do not cut costs. Matter of fact, I want everyone to say business account. All right, even if you're watching me on the replay, I want you to participate with me as if you're watching live, and I want you to make a mind-muscle connection with this content, okay? Absolutely, business account. Thanks so much for that, Cameron Smith, business account. I'm looking for your participation as well, a lot, because this is your question. Absolutely, business account. All right, you have to, because you cannot get business funding from a personal account. I don't care if you selling 100,000 t-shirts and you making $50,000 a month. If it's going into your personal account, that is not business income. Banks are very cut and dry. Banks are very, very cut and dry, all right? So you have to make sure that you first have a business checking account, all right? Now, after you have a business checking account, now the good thing about a cleaning company is you don't need much money to get started. Just get out there and start cleaning. So I know you might want to get some uniforms, and I know you might want to get some uniforms, and I know you might want to get some cleaning supplies. So what I would suggest that you do is build out your business credit. You can easily get $50,000 without any income coming in. Any income coming in, you can build up business credit. You can either go through the startup coaching, or you can have our company do a corporate build out for you. But you can easily build business credit for that, okay? Like I mentioned, we just got a company approved for $15,000 for a cleaning company yesterday, as well as $10,000 of that was cash, $5,000 was for equipment. So for their pressure washer and a trailer, and what else did we get them? A pressure washer, a trailer, and something else. It was a third thing. I can't remember what the third thing was. But the $10,000 was the cash. That's because they already have clients coming in. but you can easily get business credit to use for equipment, for uniforms, for those type of things. You can do that easily within 45 days, right? So once you do that, now you got to beat the street and start cleaning. Once you beat the street and start cleaning, deposit as much income as you can into your cleaning business. And cleaning business is a very lucrative right now because so many people have this mindset of cleanliness right now because of what's going on in our country, and people want to be clean. They understand the investment, the time that's invested into it. So there you go. So technically, if you have an idea, it doesn't matter if it's a cleaning business or if it's a bagel shop or you're selling masks, technically, you can build up to $250,000 in business credit for a brand new business. This is an accumulation of multiple different lines of credit, okay? They're not all cash. Like for instance, somebody, like I said, just got approved for $15,000. 10 of that was for cash, 5 of that was for equipment. So it's multiple lines of credit, all right? If you guys are with me, I want you to say multiple lines of credit. Multiple lines of credit. Watch this. If you're starting a brand new business and you say, well, Dean, I need $5,000. And I say, okay, what do you need the $5,000 for? Well, you know, we want to buy some computer equipment and we want to buy some new desks. So does it matter if I give you $5,000 cash or I give you a line of credit where you can go to Home Depot and get $5,000, Home Depot, but Office Depot, and you go to Office Depot and get $5,000 worth of equipment? Does it matter? If it matters, I want you to say it matters and tell me why. If it doesn't matter, I want you to say no. So if it matters, I want you to say yes and tell me why. If it doesn't matter, I want you to say no. Let's have a conversation about this, okay? But it doesn't matter, right? It's multiple lines of credit. So if you say, well, if the goal is being met, and this is the reason why this is important, because if you're a brand new startup business, if I give you $5,000 for you to go and buy this equipment, you can use it and go and buy Coca-Colas. But you were supposed to, but the buying Coca-Colas, if I need to foreclose on your business, I'm not gonna get my return on my investment, but if I sell that office equipment, I can. So it's easier to get funding when the funding is tied to an asset. You guys follow me? As I mentioned, yes, so it's easier for you to get funding when it's tied to an asset, all right? So even when it's tied to an asset, you're able to get funding. So let me give you an example. If you come in and say, hey, I want $5,000, give me $5,000 in cash, okay? $5,000 in cash, we don't know what you would do with that $5,000 in cash. It becomes a higher risk. But if you say $5,000 worth of equipment, then the underwriter is gonna say, well, worst case scenario, if you default against your payments, if you do not pay for these payments, then what happens is we now can come and gain that equipment and sell that equipment off. So in the eyes of an underwriter, in the eyes of the lenders, it is securable, okay? So you're able to secure the asset. So that's why it's easier for a brand new startup business to get funding that way than it would be for it to be universal, okay? If you guys are with me, I want you to say with you, all right? If you guys are with me, I want you to say with you. If you guys are with me, I want you to say with you. You guys are with me? Okay, awesome. All right, so that answers that question. So it doesn't matter if it is a bakery, a cleaning company, or you're selling masks or anything along those lines. If you're selling anything along those lines, then you're able to get up technically up to $250,000 in funding. Okay. All right. So what other questions you guys got for me? So now let's see, did you learn something? I want you to say, I learned. And we have a total of 75 people watching live and only 58 thumbs up. Come on, everybody, hit that like button. Hit the like button. If you learned something new, hit the like button. Matter of fact, let me put this in here. If you learned something new, I want you to hit the like button. You're learning? Okay, good stuff. Learning, good stuff. All right, so let's see. Ken says, let's look at this comment. Dean, help me get. Let's look at this comment. So Ken Carter says, Dean, help me get 100,000 business credit for my trucking company. That's what I'm talking about, Ken. Ken, I want to do a video testimonial with you, my man. So when you get a chance, I want you to message me. Message me on Instagram and say, hey, this is Ken. So we can do a one-on-one consultation. Not a one-on-one, yeah, you can do a one-on-one consultation, just catch up with everything you got going on and do a video testimony of how I was helping to help you get $100,000 in funding just like that. And if you're watching on the replay, you're like, Dean, who are you talking to? Besides talking to the jerk up there, I'm also talking to my clients that are watching me live. So if you click on the chat, you'll be able to see the chat. You'll be able to see the chat questions right over there. You see the chat questions. I shouldn't call him a jerk. I should just call him a typical colonizer. Typical colonizer. Even in this beautiful Dominican Republic. Republic Dominicana is gorgeous. It's beautiful. All right, any other questions? What questions do you guys have for me? Oh, we've been on for over an hour. Okay, I'll go for another 15 minutes. Oh, wait, let's see. Somebody says they sent me one. Let's look at the super chats. Did I miss something? Oh, shoot. How do I get to super chats? Okay, super chat. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. Super chats. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Do I have a tax person? Answer that question. 5K startup. Answer that question. All right, I'm in New York City. Answer that question. Me and my sister. Answer that question. Okay, so Big E.DeanCole says, can you buy a home with child support arrears? If so, how? That's a very good question. So yes, now, let me go back. Let's see, live chat, all messages. Okay. So there are two types of child support arrears. All right, if you guys are with me, I got to teach this, okay? So there are two types of child support. There are two types of child support arrears. It's public and it's private, okay? I want everyone to say public and private. Say public and private. I'm going to teach on the two types. One that's public and one that's private. Public and private. You guys are with me? What's going on, Robert Hunter? How are you doing? Shaq B says public and private, okay? So Big E.DeanCole says public and private. There you go. Come on, participate with me, guys. Let me get back focused. Public and private. Okay, public and private, all right? So there are two types. There's public and there's private. Public is if you go through the child support system, the offices. So most of the time in the African American community, most of the time when we have children, we're not married, most of the time. And most of the time when we are put on child support, that's what happens. The girl says, I'm gonna put you on child support. That means that they actually physically go through the child support, what is it called? DCSS, Department of Child Support Services. DCS, Department of Child Support Services, DCSS. Most of the time, they'll go through the public system of DCSS, the Department of Child Support Services. So what happens is, what most people don't realize is that when you go through public child support, the U.S. government is publicly they are, at that point, you're basically, quote unquote, selling your financial responsibilities to the government, and then they collect payments from you through public child support services. So most of the times when you're not married, 90% of the time, it's going to be public child support when you go through the Department of Child Support Services or the systems. That's public, okay? I want everyone to say public, right? We're talking about public child support. If you have a child support arrears and it's public, oftentimes what'll happen is that if you get arrears, they will suspend your license. They will put a lien on your credit report. They'll put a lien on your taxes when it's public, because it's like paying a public debt. You're now paying the government. So when you're making payments to the government, then the government turns around and makes payments to the child's mother. That's public, okay? Now, the second type of child support is private child support. When you are married and you go through a divorce and you have a divorce decree and a divorce settlement, you can choose to either do it publicly or handle it privately. If you handle it privately, then that does not show up on your credit report. You can have arrears and you can owe the arrears. What will happen is you don't owe it to the government, you actually owe it to the child's mother. So then you now have a lawsuit or a civil suit or civil case with the mother. It's not with the government. So the reason why this is important is because, fellas, you need to know if it's public or if it's private. Because sometimes people get, sometimes fellas will come to me and like, man, you know, I owe child support. And I say, well, have you pulled your credit report? And they say, no, they have not pulled their credit report, and it doesn't show up on their credit profile. The reason why is because it's private, meaning that they handled it privately. They might go through the court systems as far as litigation, which is just a normal civil lawsuit. It's just a civil suit. It does, even if you go, whether you be in arrears, you can get locked up. They won't suspend your license, but what they'll do is they'll hold you in contempt, and you can go to jail. So whether you go to jail on a suspended license or you go to jail being in contempt of court, what'll happen is that if you do, because even if you're going through the court systems, both of them, public and private, goes through the court systems. However, when it's private, you have more protection because it does not automatically show up as a lien. It doesn't automatically show up as a judgment. When it's private, you still owe it, but when you owe it, you're owing it directly to the child's mother, not through the government. So fellas, you need to understand, is it public child support or is it private? Like if you guys work something out, and if you guys have you can even have a visitation agreement and have a child support agreement, but unless you did not go, you can even have DCSS, Department of Child Support Services, they can even collect the payments so that things can be civil between the parents. But unless it is an open case through DCSS, it does not show up on your credit report. It does not show up as an open lien. So you need to know if you owe child support and you owe arrears, you need to know if it shows up on your credit report. So that's the first thing. So that's private, okay? So even though it's private and you might owe and you might be arrested or you might have arrears, it's very important for you to understand that I can't believe she just sent that message out right now and I'm about to be done. I can't believe that. Now we at over 100 people right now and I'm about to be done. And now we at 100 right now. Jesus. All right, let me focus. I apologize. Let me focus. Nevertheless, I apologize. I lost my train of thought. So that's private, okay? So private child support is when you go through it privately. You still have attorneys, you still have judge. A lot of times it's not even a judge, it's a judicial officer who is merely a seasoned attorney that acts as if they are a judge because they get paid a little bit more and they alleviate a lot of the workload that the judge does have, okay? So that being said, you have to understand, is it public or private? So if you, now I'm not talking about, she talking about I'm putting you on child support and you owe and you supposed to pick up and you can't see your baby unless you pay this and you can't see your baby unless you pay that. And I don't care. That girl, she better not never be around my baby. You put her around my baby, blah, 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 yakety schmacky. I don't care about that. If you have the legal system, you need to know legally, is it set up publicly or if it's set up privately. So you have to pull your credit report. There's a section in your credit report that's called public records. If you do not see child support arrears on the public record side, then you're fine. You're good because it's not a public record, it's not a lien. Now, let's say for instance, it was public. You did go through it publicly and you do have arrears. As long as you have a payment plan, and that payment plan, you have to include that payment plan in something that's called your debt to income ratio, or DTI. I want everyone to say DTI. This is if it's public, okay? I want everyone to say DTI. DTI. Debt to DTI. All right? DTI. DTI. DTI stands for debt to income ratio. Debt to income ratio. So if it's public and it says that you have an arrears, then you would have to contact the Department of Child Support Services and say that you need a repayment plan. By law, what they're going to do is they're going to take the last 12 months of your bank statements, they're going to take the last 12 months of your checking account and determine your income off of your checking account and off of your bank statements. And then they're going to come up with a repayment plan. And what you would do is take that repayment plan and add that to your debt to income ratio. And as long as your debt to income ratio, your back end is 45% debt to income, then you should be good to qualify for a home. Depending on which bank you go through, they might want to see 6 months or 12 months of on-time payments. So you're able to purchase a home even if you owe it. It's just a regular debt. It's just included in your debt to income ratio. So the back end is DTI. Does that help? Did you guys learn something new with that? If you learned something new, I want you to say, I learned. If you did not know that, I want you to say, OMG. Yes, Shaq B, there is a way to protect your personal assets, and that's not stuff that I talk about publicly because of the ramifications behind that. But if you hire me for one-on-one coaching and consultation, we can work out a plan for that. I have something that's called Financial Freedom for Fathers, where we talk about asset protection against corporate espionage, as well as civil espionage, because it's a civil issue. T-Mac is in the building. What's going on, T-Mac? Zoe is watching. Felicia says, what if you work for yourself? If you work for yourself, make sure that you have to pay yourself. So even if you work for yourself, you definitely need to protect your assets, and you need to do one-on-one coaching, and I can show you how to protect yourself against them. You have to make sure that you set yourself up the right way. That's something that I'll talk about later. I'll talk about that in like private sessions and private things to talk about my experience with that. Sin is in the building. All right, guys. So what other questions you guys have for me? I apologize for all the people that are just now coming in late. They just got that text message late. I got that notification. I was on for 45 minutes before that text message went out. Jesus Christ. Ah, have mercy on my soul, Father. It's okay. It's okay. We here now. We got 107 people watching live. I want 170 of you guys to hit that like button, hit that share button right now. Somebody says, Dean, you're the GOAT. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I'm just a humble servant. I'm just a humble servant. I'm just a humble servant of the Lord. Let the Lord use me. I'm just a humble servant of the Lord. I just know what I know, man. And that's one thing that I'm so excited about too. You know what I'm saying? Like being a financial expert. It's amazing. You know, you sit down and you get down and you grind and you grind and you never know who's watching you. You know what I mean? And like I said, the conversation I had today was just phenomenal. And the things that are happening and the things that are coming, I'm so grateful for them. And it's like, I know so much, I've gone through so much because I focus on what I know. There's a lot of stuff, like y'all don't never hear me talk about sports. Even though I play football, my brother played football, y'all don't never hear me talk about sports. There's very few times I hear me talk about sports is because I just focus on my niche, which is finance. And being the financial expert that I am, I'm grateful because of you guys, that you guys push me up and push my platform up to the point to where I'm able to get, I'm an international business coach, international financial expert. You dig what I'm saying? If you're watching this on the replay, unfortunately, I did have to edit this video so you can't see the live comments. So I want you to participate, even if you're watching me live. And so I'm editing this video so you won't be able to see the live comments. There was a gentleman that said that I was able to get them $100,000 in funding. So you're not able to see that comment. But I'm going to have a video testimonial from that gentleman. All right. So make sure that you subscribe and that you come back. Listen, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your nationality. It doesn't matter your sexual proclivity. It does not matter at all. Not a colonizer, not a virus, not a bee, a hornet, or anything can stop you from being successful. The only person stopping you from being successful is you. Go get them. Success is waiting for you.